Jaguars up. This is Left Side of the Brain. Like, share, and subscribe. Out here today enjoying the first day of daylight savings, and I'm at a very beautiful location right now. I feel the breeze from the water, and I see all races of people. I see couples, I see blacks, I see whites, I see Hispanics, I see Asians. Very beautiful sight. And what I want to talk about is the origin of racism. Okay? I think I've touched on this a few times before, but I never made a video directly about this subject. And that's what we're going to do today. So let's dive into the waters. Put your scuba gear on, put your snorkel on, put your eye goggles on, your HPB lenses, so we can analyze this thing from an HPB perspective. Now, I've seen a few comments in the comment section, and people said things in effect to left side of the brain act like he doesn't see color. He act like he doesn't see race. He tries to avoid racism, which is not the case. Here's the thing. I even have a shirt on. It says, I am Black History. Even though I give it a twist, but that's for another day. Now, when it comes to this racism thing, racism could not and would not exist if not for the agenda of the HPB realm. You see, the 6 laws that governs the HPB realm is the reason why racism exists. You think about the law of abilities, the law of physical limitations, all of those things we discussed in that video that I did on the 6 laws that governs the human prison ball realm. Go back and watch that vid and catch up with us. None of those laws that we covered, none of them could exist. I mean, racism could not exist if not for those 6 laws that governs the human prison ball realm. Okay? Racism primarily correlates with the illusion, that's right, of difference. Okay? The illusion of difference is when it comes to different races, it's a diversion tactic. Okay? It diverts one's attention away from what is the true enemy or the true culprit that creates an evil existence in this world. Someone's passing. So we'll take this time to say this. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you haven't did so yet, go ahead and do it. Now, let's get back into it. All right, let's get back into it. Now, you see, when it comes to race, it's a diversion tactic. It basically takes your attention away from the real problems, like why do we have to use money in the first place? Or why do certain families rule the world for generations and generations? Like core things that we should be thinking about. Racist takes our minds away from that. And it'll have us looking at each other as the enemy instead of looking at the HPB realm itself, the people who run the HPB realm. It'll have us looking at each other as the enemy instead of the leaders of the HPB realm. You get what I'm saying? So race is just a diversion. Racism is also a programming. People are programmed to be racist. Okay? People are programmed to hate other people of other races. And this is how the programming works. Racism is very stupid when you think about it, because it's all based on a fear that there is not an abundance of supplies on this earth that can go around a billion times and it'll never run out. Racism is based on an illusion that there is a scarcity of resources on the planet. So it's based in ignorance, okay? And we do have something called the law of ignorance, which deals with how ignorance is used as one of the tools to keep people in bondage, okay? So because of this ignorance, the racists are able to promote or perpetrate this fear amongst people, proliferate this fear amongst people, and have them feeling like these black people over here, they're going to increase in size and number, and they're going to take over everything, and they're going to take all of your women, and they're going to take all of the food, and they're going to take all of the resources. And that's what it's built upon. Whether these races are Arabs, whether they be white, whether they be Asian, that's what it's built upon. A fear that the world is going to run out of resources. And we got to have this X amount of land, and we got to keep these people down, because if not, they will overpower and take over everything. That's the fundamental reason why racism exists. And all of that is created to keep people, the mind of these people who are influenced by the programming of racism, all of that is created to keep these people diverted from the very fact that you exist in an HPB realm, and no matter what race you are, even if the whole world was of one race, they would still be existing in the HPB realm. That's what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to attack the real thing. And the real thing is what we label the secret wars. The secret wars. In our Afro-Manian belief system, that's what we call the secret wars that they don't want you to see. So they create racism. It's a diversion. Because ultimately, and I've shared this story before, I was at the beach one time, and I noticed that everybody was laying out on the beach, all races of people. And everybody was at peace. Everybody was playing with their children, blacks, whites, Hispanics. Everybody was getting along. And everybody was still, sectioned off to their own race, which nothing is wrong with that. But the thing is, I realized something. And I said to myself, the reason why no one is fighting right now is because nobody is thinking about competition. every group of people that was out on that beach, they was just enjoying the one thing that everybody had in common, which was the beautiful nature that was before them, which practices no racism. Everybody was enjoying the sun. Everybody was enjoying the breeze from the ocean water. Everybody was enjoying the same color sand. Everybody was just enjoying it. And everybody was at peace because nobody was thinking about a lack of abundance. Before that ocean water, everybody, no matter what race they belonged to, they just felt this big because they was viewing that grand ocean. They was viewing that grand ocean, and therefore nobody felt like there was a need to try to claim anything because it's so much. You see what I'm saying? Some people passing. Let's take this time as a commercial break. Like, share, and subscribe. It's a white couple just passed. Okay. Oh man, we over 10 minutes. Jeez. Y'all know what? I'm gonna do a part 2. Fuck it, y'all. We're gonna keep going, but I'm gonna go for a few more minutes. Now, in front of the ocean water, nobody was worried about anything because there was an abundance of everything, okay? And therefore, it was no need to feel like this group of people was a threat or that group of people was a threat because that ocean water was so much. Everywhere your eye could see, you saw endless amounts of water. So it was like, it wasn't one cup of water that everybody was in line to get. Like, this was the last drops of water on earth, and that if you didn't have this last cup of water, you would die. So no one is going to themselves, I'm gonna say, take this water for my race of people, and no, you blacks can't have it, and no, you whites can't have it. None of that was going on because it was so much. You see? And I was just saying to myself, it's a shame how this day will end, and eventually everybody will go back to their regular lives in the HPB realm and forget about how relaxed they were at this moment. You see? So when you think about it, racism is also founded upon what we say, the fear that there is a lack of everything and that things will run out, resources will become scarce. That's one reason for racism. The other reason is confinement. Being confined to a space, like how the world is built now, with cities and communities. When you think about like the world, you may have a state like Nebraska, but the majority of the people, they live in the center of the state, and it's like you got all of this vast land that's full of resources, but the city is just on a few acres. So no one is thinking about, even though the city may say that there is a water shortage, that's an illusion because all around you is acres and acres and acres and acres of land. That's why these days you have homelessness. Homelessness because people are pretty much forced to live this modern day lifestyle. Everybody is under city codes, and you can't build your house this high, and you can't live outside of this zone, and you can't collect water without the city's ordinance and all of this and that. So that created homelessness. So when you look at all of this, like the illusion of scarcity, that things are going scarce, and there would be a lack of resources. And when you in conjunction with confinement, artificial confinement, people living in these artificial spaces, it creates a claustrophobic outcome, which creates the fight between different groups of people for the illusion and the fear that there is only a few jobs. There is only a few living spaces. There is only a few acres of land. Do y'all get what I'm saying? It creates this false fight that my group has to be on top and your group has to be on the bottom. It's an illusion originated from the HPB realm. I can go further into this, but I'm gonna cut this video right here at 15 minutes. I was gonna go but we want to keep them short and sweet. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. This is Left Side of the Brain signing out. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, Jaguars up and HPB's down. Tell me if I need to do a part 2. I was gonna keep going, but let's keep it short and sweet. This is Left Side of the Brain signing out.